Savitri, as the divine incarnation, has taken all responsibility on herself because it was commissioned to her to carry out the divine's work. There was, in the earlier stages, the possibility of the omniscient goddess coming and carrying on the evolution further, but she was unwanted and she had to withdraw. The whole issue was debated in the assembly of the supramental gods, the colloquy of the gods. That is what we have in the opening canto of Savitri, the colloquy of the gods. And the communique which was issued out as a result of the debate between the gods was, it is not the omniscient goddess who is going to do what has got to be done. Omniscient goddess has to take mortal birth. She must accept the mortal birth. It is only by accepting the mortal birth that the issue of the mortal creation can be resolved. So that is the communique, that is the order, that is the command which the omniscient goddess receives, and she condescends to pass through the portals of the birth, that is a death. The omniscient goddess, the divine Savitri, comes as human Savitri. Because she has come as human Savitri, she has identified herself entirely with the mortal creation. Unless that complete identification is there, unless that full participation of the divine incarnate is in the mortal world, the problem of mortal world cannot be taken forward. She accepts pain, suffering, sorrow, ignorance. She carries the yoke of death. She does sacrifice of her greatness, of her royalty, of her Aishwarya, of her Ishwarihood, and takes a lowly human birth. But it is still not a lowly human birth. There is something very sweet, something very beautiful, something attractive, charming, alluring in this mortal world. She comes with a psychic flame well kindled in her soul. And it is that psychic flame which gives not only the intensity, the joy of participation, but also the sweetness, the happiness, and all those things here. Savitri accepts that condition and comes here. She condescends to pass the portals of the birth, that is a death. By participating in the mortal condition, by this fall from her Ishwarihood to humanhood, she grows. She grows. When God falls, when He accepts the fall, He grows. There are very few gods who accept that obligation. Savitri has done that thing. And when she participates in the mortal process here, she has to also, therefore, do yoga, necessary yoga. She has already received the command, Savitri, remember, recollect why you have come here. You cannot get locked in love and grief connected with your husband. Yes, love, grief, yes, your grief's self has become calm. Dukha Atma has become Shanta. Now you are ready to move forward. And the recipe is given to Savitri how to proceed. Do this, do this, do this, do this. And finally, the command is rise and vanquish time and death. Savitri immediately plunges into the cosmic past. She recollects all that had happened in the course of cycles of evolution, pralaya after pralaya, how things had happened and how man has arrived on the scene, and how Savitri also appeared among these human tribes. She heard the brilliant summoner's call and she has awakened with the human tribe. Human tribe, tribes rather, that is what we have at the very beginning of the second section of the symbol dawn. The human tribes, what are these tribes? They belong to the earliest cycle of the creation, what the Vedas call Pancha Janaha, five people, five races, five clans. It is among those five clans, Pancha Janaha, Savitri has arrived, and now the world of Manomaya Purusha has begun. It has advanced now to a certain stage that it should be carried forward. Beyond Manomaya Purusha, the Vijnanamaya Purusha must come and do his things. And it is in that context Savitri has to do the yoga. The first thing after the dream consciousness, Swapna, as we seen yesterday, Savitri knocks the gates of the inner countries. The inner countries. Heavy ebony gates are there. There are fierce beasts guarding the gate. Savitri knocks on the gate, on the ebony gate. It crashes, opens out, and she enters into the inner country. Then she sees all the vital forces. She sees all the distortions of the mental world in all those places, and she goes inward and inward and inward. And finally, she meets later on her three soul forces, the triple soul forces. They are these triple soul forces, they are the transcendental mothers, active personalities operating in the field of inconscience. The transcendental mothers, active personalities operating in the field of inconscience. And we had, you can say, if you go by the life divine, the description is the instinctive soul as one soul force, the impulsive soul, and the emotional intellectual soul. These are three personalities of Savitri: the instinctive, the impulsive, the emotional intellectual personalities. Or to put in the Upanishadic language, in the metaphysical language, we have the physical Purusha, we have the vital Purusha, we have the mental Purusha, Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya. This inner personality, we have got inner mind, inner life, inner vital, inner physical also. And these are the powers which form a kind of a sheath around our inmost entity, the soul. Force has taken poises in the individual formation, forming these three sheaths. And the soul aspires to exceed this formation, basically. That's the whole idea. The soul aspires to exceed these formations. Within resides mind self, the life self, the physical self, and they have to be met with, their roles have to be understood, their swabhava, their characteristics, their modes of working, they have to be mastered and taken forward. If you want to say in the language of the Sankhya, we have essentially the Tamasa Purusha, the Rajasa Purusha, and the Sattva Purusha, the counterparts of those things. And Savitri made these soul forces. The way in which these are presented are in the manner of the Christian virtues, Madonnas. Madonnas. The first Madonna is Madonna, my lady, the soul force itself. Grief divine. She is the first Madonna Savitri meets while she is entering into the inner world. What does she do? She suffers for man. Grief divine, she identifies herself with the creature, is suffering and all that, and he gives him consolation. And Savitri assures her, yes, you are a part of my being. You are doing my work here in this creation. And when I come back, I will bring strength. And it is that strength I will give to you. Savitri assures the Madonna of suffering that yes, you will be given strength, Shakti, Samarthya. The next Madonna which Savitri meets is the mother of might, Mahashakti, of wisdom and force. And Savitri assures her, she is the warrior goddess. She is Durga, she is Athena, and it is she who will conquer for man, get the victory for man against the hostile forces who stand in opposition to the divine possibilities which can enter into this creation. Savitri assures her, yes, you have strength, you have force, but what you need also is wisdom. When I come back, I will give you wisdom. First, Madonna is assured strength, second, wisdom, and then Savitri goes further down inside, and then she meets the mother of light, Prakashamaya Mata. First is Karunamaya Mata, the second is Shaktimaya Mata, now Prakashamaya Mata. It is she whom Savitri sees, the Madonnas, and she will be given that by which she will see the face of the Absolute. The face of the Absolute. That is the assurance Savitri used to these Madonnas. Before that, Savitri was assured to take a winding road and go deeper into the inner countries. A sage in the inner countries guided her, take this road, go like this, and then you will meet your own personalities. Matrikas, your own rupas, you will meet and they will guide you further. Oh, human copy and disguise of God, the sage advises in the inner country to Savitri. O human copy and disguise of God, who seeks the deity thou keepest hid. Yes, that deity is there within you, hidden. You are seeking that thing. And I will tell you how to approach that deity. And livest by the truth, thou hast not known. Something is there in you, you still receive the truth without knowing the truth, but you are living by the truth. Follow the world's winding highway to its source. That is how Savitri was guided. Follow the world's winding highway to its source. And then there in the silence few ever have reached. Thou shalt see the fire burning on the bare stone and the deep cavern of thy secret soul. Stone is there, on the stone, Agni, Pavaka, Agni, Jataveda, he is burning constantly there. Agni, Pavaka, the purifier, Agni, the purifier, he will remove all the dross from you. Agni, Jatavedasa, he will give you new birth and you will live with a new life there. See. There in the silence few have ever reached. Thou shalt see the fire burning on the bare stone, burning on the bare stone. That is the Kabbalah stone on which the fire is burning, and it will give you whatever you are seeking for. And the deep cavern of thy secret soul, deep cavern of the secret soul, Hridaya Guha, Hridaya Guha, in the cave of your heart, that fire is burning, you will witness it, you will know it, and you will achieve what is to be achieved. That is the way you will find your soul. And Savitri is now ready to see, to meet her soul. She has already met these matrikas. Well, in our traditions, tantric traditions, we have got Saptamatrika and many other types like that. But here, the prominent matrikas are three, as I told just now, and Savitri is now ready to launch herself further, to step into the inner country and meet her soul, this highway on which she will see the fire burning on its own. Savitri, as a divine incarnation, as yet unrealized here. She has taken the human birth. She has to realize those things here because she has taken the human birth. Meets in the inner world personalities as the powers of the supreme force. He says, you are my portion. The divine force themselves is same. They are the Avatarana Devatas, and Savitri is now going to step into the world of the deepmost, rather not world, into the deepmost country of her being. Onward she passed, seeking the soul's mystic cave, Hridaya Guha. At first, while she is passing the winding highway, while she is passing, at first she stepped into the night of God. Before you enter the temple of your soul, you step into the night of God. Night of God is not really a Vedic or Indian spiritual experience. It is essentially the Christian experience. Savitri is entering into the night of God. What is this night of God? It is an innocent and holy ignorance. Holy ignorance. Innocent and holy ignorance. It is sacred darkness. It is holy stillness. What it means is basically all her human faculties have ceased to exist. Mind is not working. The senses are not working. The perception is lost. Everything is gone. Therefore, it is darkness. It is night. She does not see anything. She does not know what is what is not. So, when all these senses, all these things had disappeared, it becomes the night of God. Savitri has now prepared herself by throwing away all that belonged to the human aspect of it by which she was seeing the whole world all around her. She has stepped into the night of God. And when she has stepped into the night of God, now she is ready to see the soul with the soul's perception, not with the faculty of mind, not with the vital emotion, not the flavor of the physical, but directly with the perception of the soul, she is able to see that thing. This void, this night of God, this void held more than all the teeming worlds. This blank felt more than all that time has borne. This dark, new, dumbly, immensely the unknown. That is the night of God. It knows everything already. It is a different perception of. But all was formless, voiceless, infinite, because there is no sensation now here, no perception at all, you see. And therefore, all is formless, perception is there.